Hey everybody, Smart Silver Stacker here. Hope you're doing well. So this is a warning for all of you stackers out there. Big changes are afoot in the gold and silver market. And we haven't seen the prices reflect this change just yet, but the paradigm in the precious metals markets has shifted once again. And based on the recent announcement from China regarding gold, the lull in activity that we have witnessed in these safe haven assets won't last much longer. Now, the silver chart really confirms what I am saying here. We're going to take a look at that in today's video because silver is flashing a major signal for anyone who is paying attention, and we're going to dive into this in today's video. So let's get to it. Did you know SD Bullion is giving away a monster box of 2024 Tree of Life silver coins? Sign up today at sdbullion.com/sweepstakes. Okay, so here's the big news out of China, and that is that the People's Bank of China last month in November resumed adding to their official gold holdings. Now, you might recall that up until April of this year, China had been on an 18 consecutive month buying spree of the precious metal, and all the while the price of gold had been rising. A major contributor to gold's bull market was the buying by the Chinese central bank and other central banks around the world. But then in May, China announced that it was pausing its gold purchases. Now, there was a lot of speculation about why. Perhaps it was that the price of gold had risen too high and they were looking to get a better deal, although the price of gold now is higher than it was then. And there's also some speculation that China may have been buying gold behind the scenes. I mean, we'll probably never know the truth, but the implications for this development now that China is once again officially buying gold, this is likely to put some significant upward pressure on the gold price moving forward. So while China is buying gold, what are they selling? Well, they are selling their U.S. Treasury holdings. You might recall this report recently from the U.S. Treasury that for the 3 months that ended September 30th, China had dumped $51.3 billion worth of U.S. debt. That is the second biggest dump of U.S. debt in a 3-month period for China, the second largest foreign holder of U.S. Treasuries. So maybe China didn't really get the memo with the recent threat from Donald J. Trump to the BRICS nations, of which China is the C in BRICS, regarding their de-dollarization efforts. And this move by the People's Bank of China, I think, makes it very clear that de-dollarization remains the agenda for the BRICS nations, but it's not just the BRICS that are buying gold, and it's not just China. This is a recent report from the World Gold Council, which shows that in October, central bank gold buying ramped up to the highest level in 2024. And you can see from this chart that central bank gross purchases, in order to get to a month where they were higher than what was reported in October, you've got to go all the way back to November of 2023. So buying by central banks is on the rise. China is once again buying gold. And what does that imply for the precious metals? Well, let's take a look at the charts. So we're going to start off with the gold chart today, which does tell us something, but we're also going to take a look at silver in just a moment, which is flashing an even stronger signal. But even gold here clearly remains in a major uptrend, which initiated in October of last year when the gold price was down here around $1,800. Now it rose all the way up to almost $2,800 in October of this year. So that's a huge increase in a 1-year period. But then we did get this correction following the election of Donald Trump. A bit of an overreaction if you ask me, but there was perhaps some unease surrounding the state of the U.S. economy, which was relieved with the news of Donald Trump victory. And also, a lot of attention went to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and I think that that diverted a lot of funds away from gold. We'll take a look at Bitcoin today in just a moment as well, and I'll tell you why I think there's a possibility that trend may be ending. But here, gold is sitting very close to this support at this upward trend line, and it seems like a very good spot for gold to resume its move higher. And I would not be surprised if even before the end of the year, now that we have China buying gold again, we see another record high gold price. That would mean gold above 2,800 by the end of December. That would not surprise me at all, given this recent announcement from China. So moving on to the chart of silver here, this is really worth an examination because the silver chart is flashing a very bullish signal here. And, the precious metals, it's not a perfect correlation, but typically when gold is moving higher, silver is moving higher as well. And both metals remain in a bull market uptrend, which initiated for gold at the end of last year, for silver in February of this year. And you can see this upward trend line that I've drawn here. And silver is sitting at a zone of major support. But let's zoom in and take a look at these candlesticks, which are extremely bullish for the price of silver moving forward. So we've got 1, 2, and 3 hammer candlesticks here. One on Thursday, November 28th, one on Monday, the 2nd of December, and then another one on December 4th. And zooming in even more, you can really see these in detail here. These hammer candlesticks are a very bullish sign. Now, a single hammer candlestick is bullish, but when you have 3 of them on the chart here, that strengthens the signal considerably. Combine that with this recent announcement from China and the bullish implications for gold, as well as the fact that silver is set up to rally off of this trend line here at a zone of significant support. And really the icing on the cake is that we just got this MACD cross, okay? This is a very bullish technical indicator on the silver chart. And we're going to zoom out just a little bit here, and you can see that the last time we got one of these MACD crosses where you have the MACD crossing the signal line, the blue line crossing the orange line here, look at what happened. Last time we got one, the price of silver was here around $27 or so, actually closer to 28, and it rallied all the way up to almost $35. So once again, that's happening, and we have all of these other very bullish factors converging in the precious metals market. And really, I think that right now is an excellent time to enter into the precious metals, especially silver. Stacking physical is a no-brainer here. It's not financial advice, but I'm just telling you my thoughts and what I am doing myself. And now finally, let's take a look at the chart of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has been consolidating in this symmetrical triangle following its surge above $100,000 per Bitcoin. Now that, of course, has been marked by extreme volatility, nothing unusual for Bitcoin. We had this breakout above 100,000 where it rapidly went to almost 104,000. Then it plummeted on this spike down to 92,000. Since then, it's recovered and it's consolidating in this triangle. Now, it could break out to the upside, I suppose, but given the volatile nature of cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, there is a possibility that if it breaks out of this triangle to the downside, we could see a significant drop in the price of Bitcoin in very short order. And I think that that might take some of the interest in cryptocurrencies out of the equation, the interest that has been distracting investors from the precious metals. If we do get a decline in Bitcoin, the stage will be set for a major rally in gold and silver, as one of the major distracting factors will be at least somewhat eliminated. The sentiment right now for Bitcoin is through the roof. The sentiment in the precious metals is sort of in the toilet. And from a contrarian standpoint, that means that now is the time to be getting into metals. If you're sitting on some major crypto profits, again, not financial advice, but it might be time to lock in some of those gains and consider getting your hands on some analog money just as a backup. Just my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you want to see more videos like this one, check out the one that's popping up on your screen right now. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe and happy stacking. Smart Silver Stacker out.